Dad set down his coffee with that self-satisfied expression he wore when delivering important news. The Riverside Country Club family reunion is Saturday. Your mother and I finally got accepted as full members. Took 3 years on the waiting list. Mom beamed, adjusting her diamond tennis bracelet. It's very exclusive, sweetie. The membership committee is extremely selective. Only the right kind of people. I looked up from my eggs. The right kind. Successful people, Dad clarified. Business owners, executives, professionals. The membership fee alone is $50,000 annually. Plus the $100,000 initiation, Mom added. But it's worth it for the connections. My brother Kyle nodded enthusiastically. I've been networking there for months. Already got 2 new clients for my real estate business. Mom turned to me with that apologetic look. Jordan, honey, we need to talk about Saturday. Here it comes. The reunion is at the club. It's our first major event as full members. We'll be introducing Kyle to important people, potential investors for his real estate expansion. Okay, I said slowly. The thing is. Mom glanced at Dad. We think it's best if you sit this one out. Kyle jumped in. No offense, but you're still working at that bookstore. These people are going to ask what you do. What are you going to say? I alphabetize romance novels for $12 an hour. I manage the bookstore, I corrected quietly. Same difference. Dad waved dismissively. Look, Jordan, we're not trying to hurt your feelings. But this is important for our family's reputation. For Kyle's business. We need to present success. And I don't represent success? You dropped out of business school to work retail, Mom said gently. It's been 5 years. We kept hoping you'd go back, get your degree, do something more. I am content where I am. Exactly. Dad leaned back. And that's fine for you. But Kyle is building something. He needs the right environment. Having his older sibling there talking about book sales isn't going to help. We'll say you're sick, Mom said. Or that you had to work. No one will question it. Kyle was on his phone. Besides, the dress code is strict. Country club formal. Do you even own anything appropriate? I thought about the custom suit in my closet. The one I'd worn to last month's board meeting. I could find something. Don't bother, Dad said firmly. This isn't your scene. All those business conversations, networking, golf talk. You'd be miserable. Mom patted my hand. We'll do a nice family dinner next week, just us. We'll celebrate Kyle's success and catch up. Kyle's success. He just closed on his 10th property, Dad said proudly. 10 properties at 29. Now that's achievement. I looked at my younger brother's smug grin. At my parents' expectant faces. Saw the dismissal wrapped in concern. Okay, I said quietly. I won't come. Mom's relief was obvious. Thank you for understanding. After breakfast, I went to my downtown penthouse. The apartment my parents had never visited because they assumed I rented a studio on my bookstore salary. I pulled out my phone and called my favorites. Jordan. Robert Chen's warm voice answered. Please tell me you're still on for golf Saturday. Something came up. Family reunion. At your club, actually. Perfect. I'll see you there. We can play afterward. I hesitated. My family doesn't know I'm a member. Silence. Then, they don't know you're a member of the club you own 60% of? They don't know I own anything. They think I manage a bookstore. You do manage a bookstore. 3 of them. Along with a commercial real estate portfolio worth $42 million. Robert's tone shifted. What's going on? They uninvited me from the reunion. Said I'd embarrass them in front of the important members. More silence. Your parents are James and Patricia Reeves? Just got full membership last month. That's them. And your brother Kyle? The one who's been aggressively networking and promising people he can help them get membership priority. My stomach dropped. He's what? He's been introducing himself as a major real estate investor, with inside connections to club ownership. He sold the Hendersons on a property deal, claimed he had special access through club connections. I was going to bring it up at next week's membership committee meeting. Don't. Not yet. Let me handle this. Jordan, you own the majority share. You have every right. I know. But they're my family. I want to handle this my way. Saturday. Are you thinking what I think you're thinking? I'm thinking it's time they met the real me. All right. But after this, we need to discuss your brother's conduct. What he's doing borders on fraud. After we hung up, I sat thinking about the past 5 years. The years my family spent pitying me, assuming I'd failed. They didn't know I'd left business school because I'd already started my first business. That while they celebrated Kyle's 10th property, I was managing 43 commercial properties across 6 states. They'd never asked. Just assumed. And I'd let them, curious to see if they could love me without the success. Turns out they couldn't. Saturday, I arrived at Riverside at 2 o'clock in my custom navy suit. I found Robert's office first. "Ready for this?" he asked. "Ready to stop hiding. Your brother has been working the room hard." Robert handed me a folder. 6 complaints about Kyle in the past month. Members reporting uncomfortable sales pressure. 3 claiming he misrepresented his connections. I skimmed the documents. This is worse than I thought. There's something else. Your father's been telling people you're sorting yourself out, and that you had mental health struggles. He's been asking members if they know of entry-level positions you might be suited for. The betrayal stung. He's telling people I'm unstable? I thought you should know. The ballroom was full of family and members. I spotted my parents immediately, Dad in his new club blazer, Mom in designer dress, both glowing as they introduced Kyle to older members. Kyle was in full salesman mode. And the development potential is incredible. I have exclusive access to listings before they hit the market. Club connections, you know. That's fascinating, Mrs. Henderson said. How exactly do you get early access? Trade secrets. Kyle winked. But I take care of fellow Riverside members. I stepped into the circle. Yes, Kyle. Tell them about these club connections. Everyone turned. My family's faces cycled through surprise, confusion, irritation. Jordan. Mom's voice was strained. What are you doing here? I'm a member. Thought I'd stop by. A member. Dad laughed uncomfortably. Jordan, this club has a $50,000 annual fee. $55,000 actually. We raised it last quarter. I smiled at the group. Hello, Dr. Martinez. Mrs. Henderson. Jordan, Dr. Martinez said warmly. We missed you at the board meeting last week. Mom went pale. Board meeting. Jordan serves on Riverside's advisory board, Mrs. Henderson explained. Has for 3 years. Kyle's expression cracked. How does a bookstore manager serve on the country club board? I don't. A bookstore manager doesn't. But a principal investor does. Silence. Principal investor? Dad's voice was weak. I own 60% of Riverside Country Club. Acquired it 5 years ago. Robert Chin manages operations, I handle business. I turned to Kyle. Speaking of which, Kyle, we need to talk about your lease. Kyle's face reddened. My lease is fine. Is it? My property manager says you're 2 months behind on rent. That's temporary. I have deals closing. Do you? Or do you have promises based on club connections you don't actually have? The crowd went quiet. Other attendees were noticing. Dad stepped forward, voice low and angry. If this is true, why didn't you tell us? Why didn't I tell you? Maybe because when I left business school, you told everyone I'd had a breakdown. Maybe because you've spent 5 years pitying me, apologizing for me to anyone who'd listen. We were concerned. You were embarrassed. I looked at Mom. You told Mrs. Henderson I was sorting myself out. Mom wouldn't meet my eyes. You told people I had mental health struggles. That I needed help finding entry-level work. You painted me as a failure while I was signing your membership approval. Dad's face went white. You approved our membership? The committee recommends. I make final decisions. I approved you because you're my parents. I thought maybe you'd eventually ask about my life. Really ask. But you never did. Kyle exploded. This is insane. You're making this up. Am I? I turned to him. Mr. Henderson, did Kyle tell you he had special access to listings through club ownership connections? Mr. Henderson nodded slowly. He implied he had a relationship with the owner. He does. I'm his brother. But he didn't know that, which means he was lying about connections he thought he had. I pulled out the folder. 6 complaints, Kyle. 6 members uncomfortable with your tactics. Kyle's face crumbled. Jordan, I was just trying to build my business. By trading on a reputation that isn't yours. By using our family's membership, a membership I approved, to mislead other members. Dad grabbed my arm. Kyle made some mistakes, but calling it a scam. He's 2 months behind on rent. He told people he owns 10 properties. He owns 2. Both mortgaged to the limit. He's been projecting success he doesn't have. The entire reunion had stopped to watch. Mom was crying. Why are you doing this? Why are you humiliating us? I'm not humiliating you. I'm telling the truth. Something you haven't given me in 5 years. Robert appeared. Jordan, we have a situation. Your father's membership card was declined at the bar. All 3 memberships were flagged this morning. Flagged by whom? By the automated ethics review system. Based on familial connections to ownership and the complaints about Kyle. I'd forgotten about that protocol I'd implemented 6 months ago. Dad appeared in the lobby. Our cards aren't working. Our memberships are suspended. Automatic ethics review, I said. Because of Kyle's conduct. Mom joined us, mascara running. You're kicking us out? Your own family. The system is following protocol. You own the system. Dad's voice echoed. You could override this. I could. Should I? You're the parents who uninvited me because I embarrassed you. Who spent 5 years lying about my mental health. We never lied. You told people I had a breakdown. That I needed help. All lies. Kept my voice even. You were so ashamed you couldn't imagine I might be successful. Kyle stumbled out. Everyone's talking. My clients are here. You're destroying my reputation. I'm not destroying anything. Your lies are catching up. I was just networking. That's what you do in business. No, Kyle. That's what you do. Real business is built on truth. I looked at all 3. I built 3 bookstores because I love books. I built a real estate portfolio because I'm good at seeing potential. And I did it while you pitted me. Mom reached for me. We made mistakes. But we're family. Are we? Because family supports each other. Family doesn't hide their son from a reunion. We'll fix this, Dad said desperately. We'll tell everyone the truth. Wrong about what? About me being a failure? Or about thinking success only looks one way? Silence. That's what I thought. I turned to Robert. Reinstate their memberships. Clear the flags. Jordan. Do it. They're my family. I won't punish them. I looked at Kyle. Give him a formal warning. If there are more complaints, he's out. But for now, clean slate. Robert nodded and left. My family stared. Why? Mom whispered. After everything, why would you help us? Because you're right about one thing. We're family. I buttoned my jacket. But family means seeing people for who they are. You never saw me. You saw your disappointment. We can fix this, Dad repeated. Can you? Because making it right means actually knowing me. Asking about my life. Supporting my choices even if they look different. I started toward the door. Making it right means being proud of me when I'm managing a bookstore, not just when you find out I own the building. Kyle's voice was small. What happens now? Now. You pay your rent. You stop lying. You build your business on merit. I looked at him. And maybe you figure out who you are without using my success as a crutch. I walked out into the afternoon sun. My phone buzzed. Robert, their memberships are reinstated. I'm proud of you. I drove home thinking about family and expectations. My phone rang. I let it go to voicemail. On the 4th call I answered. Jordan. Mom's voice was thick with tears. Please. Just talk to us. A chance to what, Mom? To know you. The real you. Not the son we thought we had, but who you actually are. I pulled over. Do you understand what you're asking? You're asking me to trust you after 5 years of dismissal. I know it's not fair. But Jordan, we love you. You loved the idea of me. The version that fit your expectations. You're right. Dad's voice came through, speakerphone. We loved our idea of success more than we loved you. That's our failure. I sat watching the sunset over the city where I'd built a life despite their doubts. I need time, I said finally. Space to figure out if we can have a relationship that's real. We'll wait, Mom said. However long it takes. And Jordan. Dad's voice cracked. I'm sorry we made you feel like you had to hide who you were. I hung up and sat in silence. My phone buzzed. Kyle, I'm sorry. You deserved better from all of us. I didn't respond. Not yet. Instead, I drove to my bookstore. The first one, the one that started everything. Walked through the aisles. Remembered why I'd left business school. Not because I'd failed, but because I'd found something I loved more than my parents' approval. Maybe someday they'd understand that. Maybe someday I'd let them try. I unlocked the back office and sat at the desk where I'd written my first business plan. The same desk where I'd cried after Dad called my dreams unrealistic. Where I'd celebrated my first profitable quarter alone because no one in my family believed it mattered. My phone buzzed again. A text from Robert. The Hendersons just withdrew their investment with Kyle. So did the Martins. Word travels fast. Then another from Kyle. I lost 3 clients tonight. My business is falling apart. I know I deserve this, but I'm scared. I stared at that message. Felt the familiar pull of family obligation. The instinct to fix things to save him. But saving Kyle meant enabling him. Just like my parents had always done. I typed back, you built your business on lies. Now you get to build it on truth. It'll be harder. But it'll be real. I believe you can do it. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Kyle, will you help me? Me, I'll be here when you're ready to do it the right way. Not before. I turned off my phone and looked around the bookstore. At the life I'd built from nothing. At the success they'd never seen because they weren't looking. Tomorrow I'd decide about my family. Tonight I'd remember who I was without their approval. And that was enough.